for live. And I have gone early tonight. Very unusual for me. Anyone who watches the channel will know I am notorious for being late. But yeah, I've gone early tonight. Not sure who's in the room yet. Is it called a room? I don't know what the term is on YouTube. I almost said Facebook then. But whoever's there, can you tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Is anyone there? Because I will hold on. Before I say much, to be honest with you, I've lost a viewer already. There you go. So someone was there. Maybe they couldn't hear me. Maybe they didn't like me. First of all, let's get the 500-pound gorilla. Get the cat off me. 500-pound gorilla out of the room. I have had an accident. I came a cropper on Saturday night. And ever since then, I have been full of flu. Which is why I started the live stream early tonight. Because I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. The eye's all right. It was a bit sore for a couple of days. But the flu is, yeah, that is not so good. But yeah, I want to talk about Regular Guy for a couple of reasons. It's a significant thing that's happening to a vlogger, it would appear, in the Philippines. And also, because I have been so ill the last week, I haven't really kept abreast of what's going on. I've seen a couple of thumbnails and I watched about 5-10 minutes of one of his videos the other day when he said he was being deported. So I'm hoping some of you guys can fill me in on the truth behind the story. Was it just clickbait or is it a real thing? And the other reason why I'm doing it, and I'll tell you now, I am not trying to, I'm not going to gloat on this in any shape or form. I don't have a problem with Scott, never have done. I say I've interviewed him for the channel, met him a couple of times, never had a problem with him. I am not gloating about this. But what was annoying was about a year ago, I did a video saying, is Regular Guy going to be cancelled? Because I got the feeling with the new regulations that were coming in, that, or the new guidelines, the enforcement of the regulations, that his days might be numbered. And I explained why in the video. And crap I got. You're talking nonsense. This is just clickbait. It's not going to happen. Will never happen. Blah, 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 blah. So, of course, when I see a year down the line, it is apparently happening, then you start to think, right, well, let's talk about it then. Because if it is happening, I was right on the previous video. But I'm not going to say, like, I was right. You know, I honestly don't mean it that way. The point is, people need to take note of the reality. Hold on a second. I've got a comment. John Mesters, hey mate, you're early. Yeah, can you hear me all right, John? Because I had it with, can't remember his bloody name now. What was Sim's name? Pro Traveller. When I did a couple of videos on him explaining why he was getting kicked out and all this. Load of nonsense. You don't know this, you don't know that. And it just blows my mind that people can't get it into their heads. I'm not talking about the vloggers. They're big boys. They know the risks they're taking, I assume. John Messers, here you're fine, mate. Eye looks better. Yeah, it is getting better. Swelling's gone down. Grazing's still a bastard. But yeah, people just really don't seem to get the Philippines in the sense that it is an incredibly conservative country. It is the only country in the world where divorce is illegal. Abortion's not allowed here. You know, it is a very, very strict country, and Pinoy pride is a real thing over here. And it is what it is. I don't agree with the vlogging guidelines. You know, I think people should get divorced, etc., etc. You know, but it's not my country at the end of the day. It is what it is. And the trouble is, I would imagine, I'm not going to get too political here, the vast majority of the Filipinos over here, they think it's too conservative. They don't like it. They would like to be able to get divorced. They would like to be able to do lots of things over here. But they're not the powers that be. The reality is the powers that be are very conservative on the whole. And if you're going to live here, you will get away with a lot. You know, I'm not always on the best behaviour. as you can see from my face. But you can behave badly over here because, as I say, the average Filipino isn't bothered. They think the rules are far too draconian. But you can't do it and put it online and not expect to be done for it at some stage. But as I say, the vloggers realise that. You know, I said when I did the video on Scott before, I said, what's he going to do now? Is he going to change his content? Because that seemed like the only option he had, because he couldn't do what he was doing before, obviously. So I didn't have a problem with the content, but it was going against the guidelines. And he did change his content. He did. He was clever to do that. He went more to lives and more day in the life and all that kind of stuff, because he's an intelligent bloke. He could see the writings on the wall. It just winds me up when you make comments on these things, when these other people say, you're talking crap, you don't know what you're talking about, he's done nothing wrong, Sim's done nothing. And I'm not putting Sim for 1 second in the same line as Regular Guy. But like the other day, I think I saw Regular Guy because they're different animals altogether. I think I saw Regular Guy the other day on his vlog. I'm pretty sure he was riding without a helmet. And you think, I might have been wrong about that, but it looked like it. I was in between the coughing fits and my eye was swollen up, I couldn't see it. But it looked like he had driven down to close to LP height, but he wasn't wearing a helmet. And you think, lots of people don't wear helmets over here. But my God, if you're going to vlog, put your bloody helmet on. You know, I might be wrong about that. You know what I mean? It's just, I just, anyway, over to you guys for a bit. I've got some more input on that, but I would love people to update me on what has actually been said. Is he actually being declared persona non grata? Is that in CDO or is that further around the country? Is he actually being deported? Is it a bit of clickbait? You know, say I'm out the loop. I wasn't going to do a live stream tonight because I was feeling lousy, but I thought I've got to get back on the old horse. Got the cat eating the microphone now. Got a dog biting my hands, cat eating my microphone. I thought I'll do it, and I thought, well, this will be a good chance to catch up on what's been going on. So I'll read some comments now. It's end of time. Evening, Simon. I don't think the lad did too much wrong, to be honest. Just stuck his head up, got hammered. Wrong country for him. Image Mask, LOL. There is no deportation order. Brad McTimes. It will be interesting to see if Regular Guy channel blows up and gets huge from his controversy and all the attention. Okay, Billy, how do you extend your visa? Is it best to do it a day prior? That's amazing, isn't it? Look at the state of my face. Not one of my regular viewers has said, what happened to you, Simon? How did you do your eye? Billy just wants to know about his visa extensions. Nobody cares about me. Depends where you are, mate. In Dumaguete, if you go in 2 weeks before, they won't charge you an express. You can do it up to 2 weeks before. If you don't go in more than... if there's still 5 days left, they won't charge you an express fee. It's easy to do, but it depends. It's different from island to island. Jack Star, aye, nice black guy. Yeah, it's a bit special, Jack. So you should have seen it the first day. God, the whole thing come up. I got up in the morning, go to the toilet, looked in the mirror, I was like, oh, I couldn't remember a bloody thing. Then it all came back to me. I was like, what the fuck's happened here? It was, yeah, not proud of it. Al Clark Phillips, he's officially declared persona non grata. But is that just in CDO? Thanks for that update. Because the little bit I heard of it, I thought, that doesn't mean you've been deported. I mean, if you've been done, it's in CDO. I mean, that means you just... It's a bit like before they deported Sim. He was declared persona non grata in Dumaguete, wasn't he? It wasn't the whole country. But, I mean, I don't wish any bad on Scott at all. But he needs to be careful, as I said on the last live, because the governor of... the vice governor of Negros Occidental did basically a press conference the other week saying that they were going to crack down on vloggers who were disrespectful and, you know, bad behaving expats, and he'd asked immigration to look into it and asked that. So one would imagine, I'm not saying I know this, that if he's here and they know he's been declared persona non grata in CDO, then they might take a closer look. Morten Christensen, no deportation order yet, but the councillor has made a profile persona non grata in Duma, has picked up on it also. Yeah, I thought Duma might pick up on it, because I thought Duma would pick up on it. As I say, I don't wish it on him. You know, I hope it ends all right with him. But it doesn't sound like he's having much luck with his bird, and you know, the girlfriend and that had all gone wrong. But yeah, I think it's. I think if Sim hadn't been deported, the suggestions were they were going to declare him persona non grata in the Philippines. It is a shame though, because I think he did try and mend his ways. He stopped doing the kind of content which they found offensive. I think. I don't really watch the channel, so I don't know. Hold on a minute. Let's catch up with some of the chat. Erob, I subscribed to him, then offended, unsubscribed, then subscribed again, on and on. Okay, Billy, sorry, mate, I didn't notice your eye prior. Oh, don't worry about it, brother, don't worry about it. I don't need sympathy. Thank you very much, Jack. Thank you very much, mate. Always appreciated. I will use that to buy some eye drops. Who bopped you? No one bopped me. I was an expat behaving very badly. We went to a great club. By far the best club, best night I've had out since we came back from Vietnam, the Bahia. But unfortunately, we went there for dinner. It was a couple of friends' birthdays, or my good mate's wife's birthday, and another good friend. And it's a wonderful restaurant, the Bahia, really good food. Probably the best in Dumaguete. It's like, you know, probably a lot of people think it's the best one. It's most expensive, I think. But at 10 o'clock, it turns into a nightclub, and they do unlimited cocktails for 400 pesos. And I'm not joking, mate. I abused it. 10 White Russians later, fell over and smacked my head open on the way home. That was it. No one punched me. But that was a classic example. I was behaving badly. I'm not proud of it. But a lot of people were, you know, and it's predominantly Filipinos. There's no problem with that here. It's a very relaxed country like that. But had I been vlogging that, had I been, you know, doing that, then I'm sure I might be in trouble for it. That's what I'm saying. You know, if you're going to put your head over the precipice and you're going to sail close to the wind, you're taking a big risk, as I think the recent deportations have shown. Or, you know, it's and you might not agree with it. My God, the number of people I got, more so with Sim, that you know, oh, he's done nothing wrong, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. And I'm saying he has done things wrong. I don't agree with him, but he has. He hasn't blurred faces. He's spoken to minors without consent. Some people just don't seem to be able to get it through their heads. There are rules over here. And if you break those rules on camera, there is a chance they'll come after you. And as I understand it, Sim's got on to bigger and better things. Hopefully regular guy won't have to go unless he wants to. But if he is forced out, I'm sure he can ply his trade somewhere else. But as I say, I just can't believe these people, you know, so many people can't get it into their heads. There are rules here. It's conservative, very conservative country. And you can only behave a certain way for so long and not come unstuck. That is the reality of it. If you're going to advertise it on camera and if you're going to get a big following. It's end of time. The new glasses got their revenge on you. I'm amazed the new glasses didn't break, which was fantastic. God bless Oakley. John Mesters. Okay, Billy, usually they do a regular visa if you apply a week in advance. If later, they will charge you the express fee and you can pick up your passport the day after. Yeah, I think it's 5 days, 5 working days. If you go in less than 5 days, they'll charge you the express fee, which means you get it the next day. If you don't pay the express fee, you pick it up 7 days later. It's end on time. It's the bong comment that screwed him. Can't say that here. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat that. I've heard something along those lines. I don't know what the comment was. But he has known for a long time, Scott, that he's you know, pushing the envelope. And to be honest with you, just my gut feeling, he could have probably pushed it a bit longer if it hadn't been for all the Sim controversy. You know, I think that really has focused some eyes. Alan Clark declared in the barangay. I'm in Negros Occidental, Cadiz City. Okay. He was just declared in the barangay, was he? Well, welcome, Al Clark. Rick MB, good afternoon, mate. Hope you're okay. Scooter accident. No, fell over like an idiot. Too much to drink, fell over, banged my head. I tell you, I was very lucky though, very lucky. A couple of good friends of mine, they didn't let me drive. I wanted to drive, which is stupid. Would never have done it. Well, you know, it's a bit like Jim Davison, the English comedian. They asked him in court why he drove when he was 4 times over the limit. And he said, because he was drunk. You know what I mean? So I've learned a big lesson because I was going to drive and they insisted that they take me home in the car and his girlfriend drove the bike. And then when I got out of the car, I just fell flat on my face. So there you go. Saved my life. John Mesters, about regular guy, as I understand it, he'll be declared persona non grata in CDO. But once that happens, he'll be dealing with the BIR and immigration, which will likely happen. Yeah, I guess that's what's going to happen, yeah. He'll try, I think you're right there, John. He'll probably try and renew his visa. They'll look online and probably take that as a reason not to renew it. But to be fair, the little I watched that video, I mean, he was saying the only reason he came back was for this woman. And this woman's been shagging around behind his back. So maybe it's done him a favour, you know, pastures new. I mean, hopefully he feels that way if it does happen. I mean, it's never nice to see someone kicked out if they don't want to be. But there you go. Mark Alexandra, it's crazy to be deported from a country is like the worst. It's crazy to be deported from a country is like the worst. Not quite sure what you mean by that, but there we go. Rick MB, did you not have a falling out with regular guy a few years ago? No, I've never had a fallout with regular guy. I mean, I've only seen Scott once in the last few months, and I was interviewing someone and I said hello. I don't know if he took offence about what I said. I certainly never fell out of him face to face, but I got a lot of shit for it. The new guidelines came out when they were going to crack down and said you couldn't blur faces, you couldn't do this, you couldn't talk to people unsolicited. And I made a thumbnail and I did a video saying, did a regular guy just get cancelled? Question mark. Not meaning he'd been cancelled then, but basically saying, if they enforce the new regulations or the new guidelines, I mean, the regulations existed, but the guidelines came in to enforce them. If they're going to enforce them, how does he make content going forward? Because it was almost like the new guidelines were to stop what he was doing, because his material was basic, wasn't it? He would go to a town, he would drive around, he'd talk to people, he'd film them talking to them, he'd like focus on a couple of attractive women or whatever, you know, and all that in the guidelines was you can't film people without consent, you must blur faces, basically everything he did. So I said, not meaning to offend him or anyone, does that mean his channel and channels like him are dead now? They can't do it anymore. And if they do enforce it and they carry on doing it, they'll get kicked out. And I got a lot of shit for it. People saying, you don't know what you're talking about, this, blah, blah. And lo and behold, a couple of months later, Sim's kicked out for it. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, but I think Scott realised because he changed his content. You know, he stopped doing so much of what he was doing before. And I know I will say that again. I don't know what you heard because the stream just stopped. I saw the circle going around. I know he saw it because he said in one of his lives, I haven't been cancelled. But if I was him, I don't know. I've not spoken to Scott for like 2 years now. I'd have taken it if I was him, because I do this for my entertainment. I don't do it for the money. I mean, I get the old bit of pocket money, but it's not my primary goal. It's his living. That's how he makes it. That's how he survives over it. So if I was running a business like him, I'd be like, thank you, Simon. You've created a bit of interest about me, my channel. You know, I think, you know, because I didn't say a single thing derogatory about him. All I said was, you know, does that mean his channel's cancelled? Does that mean he's going to have to change? Does that mean, you know? And as I say, I'm not going to sit and say I was right, but I was. You know what I mean? It wasn't rocket science. But yeah, from my point of view, we didn't fall out. I'm just, you know, that was just what I said in the video. But like the videos with, you know, with pro-life traveller, you know, you're talking crap, you don't know what you're talking about, this, that, and that. You think, okay, fine. Where is he now? He's not here, is he? You know, God. It's ended. So no, Rick. From my point of view, we didn't have a falling out. I mean, I've actually seen him twice since, but both times we've said hello. He hasn't come over and like, you know, said how you doing. So I take the fact he was just like hi. He probably. We were never close. I mean, I've literally had coffee with him a couple of times, and I've interviewed him. And we messaged a couple of times about when he was going to Sikio, because he was asking a few things about it, because he knew I used to live there. That's it. That is the extent of our contact, ever. So the fact we don't talk now doesn't mean we've fallen out. We never talked before, you know what I mean? He said the time, update on Sim. He started a new channel catching PDFs in the streets, accused the wrong guy on camera, streamed it, multi-million lawsuit. Are you serious? No, wait a minute. I think you're getting him mixed. Are you not getting him mixed up with Vitali? Because that's happened with Vitali. Vitali's in the multi-million-dollar lawsuit, but that's in America. I don't think that's Sim, mate, unless he's copied it and done the same thing. But I've not heard that. I think that might be Vitali, or am I wrong? Can you let the dog out, please, sweetie? He's banging the glass. He said the time, leopards and spots comes to mind. Jack Star, it seems the camera may have a downside just as much as an earning tool. I'm a big Scotty Boy fan. Some people don't like straight talkers, but you sail close to the wind one day and you'll get blown over. Yeah, that is what.
Move your camera a little bit there.
Oh, Ella's now making it.
When you come out from the bedroom, I saw my. Oh, stop it.
You just told me to move it over a little bit. What a strange woman. Anyway, I'm doing a live stream. Can you let the dog out, please? All come and say hello. Jack Star, he's been John Wicked. I think John Wicked there for a second. Yeah. He was a very, very popular guy. He had a lot of content. I mean, I say, I don't think anything he did was wrong. I don't really watch it. You know what I mean? You get away with that in a Western, but we're not. We're in the Philippines, for God's sake. You know, and a lot of people don't seem to be able to get that. My God, the things I had. There's nothing against the law. You can film in public, blah, blah, and they're quoting laws in America or laws in Europe or whatever. This is the Philippines. And as I say, it's like, I don't want to put anyone off. It is a very relaxed country. It is a very slack country. The average Filipino doesn't give two hoots. As long as you're respectful, you can do what you want here. It's different when you put it on camera. You know, you're not going to bump into the mayor when you're out, you know, knocking back white Russians in a nightclub. But he might see the video if someone, you know, if someone says, look at this, you know. I mean, and that wouldn't surprise him. I mean, just think about that. If someone had filmed that and they popped it on there 2 weeks after the mayor of, you know, the vice mayor had been saying, governor rather, had been saying, we've got drunk. And, you know, God, I could have got in big trouble. One day, do you know Regular Guy personally? Do you spend a lot of time with him? Then I would stop saying he's innocent. Okay, right. Listen to me 1 second. Watch it back. When have I ever said he's innocent? When did I say he was innocent? I have not used the words innocent once. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, some people, no, I don't hang out with him regularly. I know we're catching up in the thing. I have met him a couple of times. That's it. I've already said that. You probably commented before. But I'm damn sure I didn't say he was innocent. I said the opposite. I said, if you look at the rules over here, the guidelines, he's broken them. I said, I don't agree with the rules. People like you, what are you talking about? Do you listen? Do you listen? Or do you just try and like, unbelievable. Jack Star, Regular Guy, your membership is by their own actions permanently revoked. Jack Star, hit the like, share the love, guys and girls. I'm contractually to post it. Okay. He is, that's his job, and he does a wonderful job, Jack. Hasn't worked too well though, mate. We've only got the 12 likes, but there you go. Appreciate it as ever, brother. Rick MB, Scott Boy is a socially awkward guy. Met him once in Cebu a few years ago. Yes, he is. Yes, he is socially awkward, and he admits that. I'm not going to go in. Yeah, I'll keep that out because that is a private conversation. But yes, you are 100% right. Which is why I don't have so much of an issue with him, because I know the guy has certain issues, shall we say, which he's quite open about. But that's all I'm going to say on that one. Morton Christensen, yes, that's Vitali. Yeah, I thought it was Vitali, as I say, because I've not heard anything. It'd be a hell of a coincidence if both of them got done for the same thing. Then go Philippines, bit late but made it. Welcome to the party, mate. Glad you made it. How's life? Daniel Morgan, if I don't like someone, I just don't watch their videos. I don't understand all the drama with Philippine vloggers. Regular Guy is the best YouTube in the Philippines, in my opinion. Well, I won't take offence by that. I'm sure the vast majority of people will agree with you. Yeah, that's my attitude. I don't really watch any other channels. There's not much point. I'm living here. I don't need to know, you know, how to meet a woman over here, what this place is like. I'm living it. I'm here. But unfortunately, you know, you may think that. I agree with you, but it doesn't matter, because these are the rules in the Philippines. You know, if you are perceived to be taking advantage of people in terms of filming them and making comments that they might find offensive, you're subject to the rules over here. I mean, that's just the reality. Don't have to agree with it. But I mean, it's like, you know, I can't believe that guy said before I said he was innocent. I've not said any of them innocent. All I've said is I don't agree with the rule, but I said the opposite. John Mesters, I think one of the reasons why he's in trouble is the fact that he has minors in his videos and not blurred them out. Could well be, mate. I've not watched it. I've not watched his channel. I was never a fan of Scott's channel. I watched it a few times, but when I first came over here, the channels I watched regularly were Mark Thornton and Old Dog New Tricks. And I watched Geo for a little while, but I got bored with that very quickly. And I watched a bit of Regular Guy and got bored with that very quickly. But I met him one day, bumped into him in a cafe, and I said, can I interview you? And, you know, at that stage, I was trying to interview a few of the local YouTubers, and a lot of them were kind enough to sit down with me. And, you know, the fact that he took some time, the fact he let me interview him, you know, the fact that, as someone said, he was quite open about the fact he is socially awkward, and sometimes people misconstrued what he says, and, you know, he can't help the way he is. You know, gave me a bit more time for him. But after that point, I've never watched his content. You know, it's only when I saw the thumbnail that he was getting cancelled, you know, deported, I thought I'd watch a bit of that. That was it. So I don't know what he's been up to. I just know what I'd seen in the content before I came here. And when the new guidelines came out and I read them, as one would be in a vlogger, I thought, well, wait a minute. Half of what they're saying you can't do is what Scott does. So I did a video. Does that mean his channel's just been cancelled? And people like that fool who said about saying he's innocent, they jumped on the thing saying he's not been banned. The question mark was there. I was asking the question. You know what I mean? Anyone with a brain cell would understand what I was saying, and it would look like it's come to pass. And I'm not happy about that at all. You know, I'm indifferent. It wasn't my fault that it happened. Dave Stewart, not the Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics, surely. I bet you're not, but I'd like to think you were. I'd like to think Dave Stewart was watching my content. It would be sad to see the end of his time in the Philippines. I like his travel content, especially riding about in his bike, visiting places. Maybe there is more to the story. He's actually done something bad. Well, look, I don't know. All I will say is, I don't think he has to have done. I don't think he has to have done. I think the way they're going with things now, that's enough. I don't think there has to be anything deeper to it. I'm not saying there's not anything deeper to it. I don't know. I've been very open about the fact that I'm asking you guys to fill me in on what's gone on, because I've been out the game for the last week. But there doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? The way there are at the moment with vloggers and the way his content's been or whatever, it is 100% plausible what he has said are the reasons why he's been declared persona non grata and why potentially he's being deported. I would assume, put it this way, if it was me, but it's difficult. I'm in a relationship with Ellen. I mean, if I was him, certainly, I'd leave now. I mean, why stay and potentially face, issues and get deported? Why just not go? Obviously, I hope never get in there. I mean, I'm never going to make that type of content. I don't want it. It's difficult because obviously I'm in a serious relationship with Ellen, so I couldn't just leave. But you know what I mean? It's like if I was him and it's as serious as it seems to be, I just go now. Why get a deportation stamp on your passport? What is the point of staying for another few weeks? But hey, listen, it's up to him, innit? 12937. I'm going to call you One from now on. At the most, he's going to be banned from the country. Probably won't face jail time like others did. Yeah, I don't think anyone has suggested he faces jail time. I don't think that's been suggested at all. I think, as John said, I think the fact that when you go to immigration to get your passport extended, they theoretically do a check to see if you've upset anyone or if someone's made a complaint against you or if you're in trouble. And if you're in trouble, they won't extend your visa. Now, I would have thought, I'm no expert, that when they put his thing in, assuming no one has told him already, maybe immigration have already given him a wink and said, refuse him, kick him out. But just say they haven't, I would imagine, when they put his passport in, it will come up that he has been declared persona non grata from CDO. I would imagine that's enough for them to say we're not extending your visa. I don't know, I don't know, but I say, put it this way, they're not, someone has already suggested in the comments as well that Dumagetti are already looking, so it's going to be a very strange thing if he does get extended. It's going to be an even stranger thing if he tries to get extended. If the only reason he came back for that woman, and she's been shagging around, I can't believe, by the way, he gave her 2 weeks to make her mind up. I find that very strange. If I came back and someone had, Ellen wouldn't do it, but if I came back and she had had an affair, I don't think I would say to her, right, see, why would you say something like that on camera? My God, I tell you, I'll start telling things you've said before in a minute, and then you'll see. I would not give her 2 weeks to make her mind up. And I know sure as hell if she caught me being she's a very jealous woman. She would not give me no second. I tell you, I was so lucky the other night, my God. We were at by here, and there was a lady boy there. And she, whatever you want to call him, turns around to me and said, "How are you? I haven't seen you since yesterday." And I was like, "You've never seen me before." He said, "I was with you yesterday." I'm like, "No, you weren't." But Ellen was sat right next to me at the dinner table. And of course, I was with Ellen the whole of yesterday. So she knew it was bullshit. And she's laughing. And I'm like, why is she saying that? She's just trying to get a hook in. But what if she'd said last Friday or something like that when Ellen wasn't with me? Or I don't know where we were last Friday. But another day, I said, what would you have said then? Should you have been in trouble? I fucking yes, I am. Erob, he's an interesting character, good or bad. Well, he's popular. He's one. I think I don't know what his subscribers are, but I imagine he's up there with the biggest in the Philippines. Biggest Western travel vloggers in the Philippines. He's made a good living out of it.
No.
Pencil. Rick MB, who is the Belgian dude that seems to have a vendetta against Scotty on a mission to take him down? No idea, mate. As I say, I don't really watch other channels. No idea. Sorry. Maybe someone in the credits in the comments can tell you. Jackstar, I think it's like when my vehicle used to get pulled by the police. They are illegal, of course, but if they keep digging, they will find an infringement. Well, I think, and I'm not wishing it, I think the infringement's already there. If you've been declared, theoretically, if you upset somebody, if a local makes a complaint against you, that is enough to get you sectioned something. Well, if he's been banned from CDO, that's not just an individual, that's a whole area, a whole government place or whatever. So surely that's gonna make it unlikely you get extended.
Yeah.
I don't know. The more they dig there, the more they want to hit your pocket. I think it's probably too late for that. you know, the buy your way out of it, Jack. I think the die's been cast. But what do I know? You know, I'm just having a chat about it. I mean, as I said many times, I hope things work out for him. I'm just talking about it. And if I thought it would make it any worse for him, I wouldn't be talking about it. But I noticed earlier, if he's talking about it on his own channel, and I noticed a couple of other channels were talking about it, I thought, well, can't blame me, can you? Because again, I say, I've never wanted to get another channel in trouble, you know, it's not my style. But I mean, the cat's out of the bag now, so, you know, if he's talking about it himself, then he can't complain about other people talking about it. He said at the time, I asked my wife, does Bong Bong and the Barangay Boys mean she said they can't find that? Enough said, means she said they can't say that. Okay, well, you've just said what he said, and I've just read it out. I don't know. I'm not going to read that out again. I don't want to get in trouble. But is that what he said? Is that what it's all about? Adam Fente, hey guys, good to catch you live tonight. Hey Adam, how you doing, brother? What's the word on the street? Daniel Morgan. Hold on a minute, I've gone too far. From my observations, both living in the Philippines for a couple of years and watching the vloggers, is the expats are always trying to get other expats trouble, arrested or deported. My observations, both from living in the Philippines for a couple of years and watching the vloggers, is the expats are always trying to get other expats in trouble, arrested or deported. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're talking about me, then I'm not. Then that's the truth, you know, either accept it or not. I don't watch any other channels. I mean, I've said this a million times. When I used to come here, before I came here, I watched them. I mean, I wouldn't have come here if it hadn't been for the channels. I wouldn't even know where Dumagetti was if it hadn't been for Mark and Old Dog. I wouldn't have known about it. But, you know, so that brought me here. But after I was here a couple of months, there was no point watching it. It was all irrelevant to me. They're not telling me anything I don't know. And the trouble is, the longer you've been here, the more you realise that a lot of what they're saying isn't true. Or certainly not true to me. You know, I think, well, that's not right. And why, you know, it might be to you at your age, your nationality or whatever, but it doesn't apply to me. So you just stop. So I honestly have no idea if other vloggers are trying to get people deported or what they're doing. I mean, I don't know, mate. Maybe you're right, maybe you're not. I haven't got a clue. Daniel Morgan, why do you think this is? I don't know, mate. I've got no idea. I don't know it's happening, is it? I mean, I can't really have an opinion on it. I mean, if it is happening, the first thing would come to mind, jealousy. Don't know. I mean, maybe some people are jealous of other channels. As I say, I don't know if it's happening, and if it is, I don't know who's doing it. So, sorry, mate. I really can't. All I can say is, I don't take that view. There have been several things that I am aware of. There's a vlogger I particularly don't like who has made a few videos about me. I'm not going to mention his name, and I know some things about him that I could say. But I won't lower myself. What's the point? You know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And there are another couple of vloggers I don't have a problem with, which I've heard things through the grapevine, which I could talk about, which would cause some problems. And I won't do it. I'm not interested. What, for like £15 fucking, you know, revenue from the likes or whatever, you know, from you know, just not my style, mate. Why other people are doing it, I don't know, mate. Vindictive, jealous, who knows? What's your opinion why they're doing it? Mark Ale Jandrox. What will he tell his mum getting deported from a country? What a clown. Don't know, was he close with his parents? I mean, pretty sure if I got deported, I wouldn't tell my parents. I wouldn't, but they're old, I wouldn't want to worry them, but wouldn't come up in conversation. Jackstar, yeah, Rick, IKOW. Oh no, right, Rick, I know who you mean. He's a little weasel, telling people to get in touch with LTO and snitch on him, not wearing a helmet, WTAF. If he don't like him, why would he watch him? Well, there you go. That comes back to what I was just saying. And Jack, I think you know me well enough. I wasn't snitching on the guy. It's just, you know, it just blew my mind, you know, when I saw that video and I thought, is he not wearing a helmet? You know, I don't get the mindset. You've just been declared persona non grata. You know people are looking at you, and you're making a video where you're breaking a traffic, you're committing a traffic offence. And you're thinking, I know everyone does it over here, but you don't do it on film. I mean, that was the thing with Sim. Someone sent me a link to one of his videos where he's driving down the road, he's on the wrong side of the road, and he covers his eyes, and he's doing that. It's like, in the UK, you go to prison for that. It's dangerous driving. And then people are saying, he's never broken any rules. How is it not against the rules to drive on the wrong side of the road and then cover your eyes? It's just nuts. But there you go. Yeah, I don't know who that is, Jack. Jack, you were supposed to message me and tell me what your idea for a vlog was. You never did, brother. I was going to chase it up, but I've been so sick. That must be psychosomatic. I say I'm sick and I start coughing. Let me know who it is, who this YouTuber is. I watch him. And let me know what this idea for a vlog is. God, I need some ideas. John Mesters, I don't think a regular guy can leave if there's some sort of case against him, because he won't be able to get an exit clearance or he'll be flagged by immigration. But I don't think there is a case against him, is it? I think he's just been declared... Look, as I've said many times, I'm catching up with this. As I understand it, he has been declared persona non grata from CDO. As I understand it, when you're declared persona non grata from somewhere, that's the end of the case. It just means you can't go back there. So I would have thought if that's what it is, then there isn't a case to be done. I just think he'll have trouble getting extended. But say it could be wrong. But if you think about Sim, he could potentially have been in trouble for a lot of things. They could have done him for a lot of stuff. But they gave him the option. Don't fight the deportation, just leave. And then that's the end of it, because they didn't want to fuss. So I imagine, even if there was a case pending, as long as it wasn't too serious, they would just say, leave, why prosecute if you're not here? But who knows? Different islands, different philosophies, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know, mate. I do think, though, if there was more to it, surely he wouldn't be talking about it, or he'd be keeping his mouth shut and keeping his powder dry and getting his defence ready. But who knows? Who knows? There's now queer as folk, as we say in England. People do strange things. Raven Knight, Alan Brockett, hiya. How's it go, and happy Wednesday? It's going well, mate. Happy Wednesday to you, Alan. Welcome to the party again, mate. I have to contact you about this. I am sorry, mate. I've been so out with the eye and the flu and all that. I've just been... But we will talk about that interview. We'll sort something out, mate. I do appreciate you, the offer. Jackstar, one, you're not a number, you're a free man. I'm number 6, mate. What are you talking about? Morton Christensen, Daniel Morgan, when did you start to watch him? Before or after he removed all his schoolgirl videos? Mark Ale Jandrox, Belgian Nomad TV. That's the guy. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Is it a big channel? They say it's a Belgian vlogger that's going after him. Okay. Well, listen, I've never heard of the guy. Don't know how big his channel is. Got no idea why someone would go after someone else on a channel. I mean, I personally, this is my view, it doesn't mean anything. I think if you're Filipinos and you're a Filipino vlogger and you've got a problem with a Western vlogger, then fair enough, fair game. But what the hell is a Westerner doing trying to get another Westerner in trouble? And I'm not saying we should stick together. I mean, it's not your country, mate. It's none of your business. Stay out of it. It's like, let the... I mean, the regulations are all about filming Filipinos without, the consent. There's nothing in there about Westerners. So why this guy would do that, I don't know. Seems a bit strange to me. But unless he starts trying to do it to me, I won't take any interest in it, you know what I mean? Jackstar, I wouldn't give her 2 minutes, I'd be gone. Yeah, that's weird, that 14 days. It's a strange thing to say, but as I say, he's, as he said himself, he's socially awkward, he's got a few, but yeah. 2 weeks to decide, and if she decides you choose her, She chooses you, you'll stay. But if she doesn't choose you, you'll go. I mean, yeah, it seemed a very. Who am I to get involved in other people's relationships? But it seems a strange. Yeah, it would be done for me. That would be done. You know, no chance. But there you go. Alan Brockett, the regular guy chap. Yeah, I was wondering how the Chica was playing out. Yeah, well, I didn't even know anything about it until now. Adam Fenton, I've been watching Regular Guy since he started his channel back in 2022. You've been unfaithful to me, Adam. I thought you only watched me, mate. I'm disappointed. He was one of my inspirations to visit the PH and travel around. I would be sad if he gets banned from PH. Jack Star, Adam the legend in the house. How you doing, buddy? Daniel Morgan, Adam Fenty, 100%. Rick MB, I started watching Scotty Boy's channel after seeing your interview with him. Did you? There you go. So he got something out of the interview. Adam Fenty, do be good, Jack Star. Hope you're well, mate. Daniel Morgan, just for clarification, I was not suggesting that you were involved in anything, just a general observation. No, that's fair enough, mate. Listen, you're a regular commenter. I thought if you wouldn't be watching the channel if you thought I was like that. But in answer to my question, why do you think they do it? I don't know, mate. I'm going to go out on a limb here and suggest you probably watch more channels than I do, so you know more about it than me. As I say, I think it's strange behaviour if that is what's happening. Jack Star, yeah, Adam, I'm good, pal. Space War, yes, I know regular guy, only little foolish, but he good. He only went around sitting on buses 8 hours and going around and over. No one else done much as regular guy, so such a shame if he gets deported. Yeah, the question is now if people will continue to watch him after he's deported. If he stays on YouTube. I mean, he told me when I met him, I don't think he'll mind me saying this, he was making quite good money in terms of, you know, what he was getting in terms of revenue, but it was costing him a lot to do the content. You know, he was having to travel here, hotel stays, all the, you know what I mean? So although he was making a few quid, he was spending a lot of money. You know, it's expensive business to do travelling around like that. So I know someone told me in City Hall he was earning $8,000 a month. I said, not a chance, mate, not a chance. I mean, I don't know what he was earning, but I've seen some of his content. You know, you can calculate from the views and things. But he told me it was costing him $2,500, $3,000 a month to travel around. So, I mean, maybe, I mean, put it this way, if he was going to do it in Thailand or Cambodia or Vietnam, it's not going to hurt him. He already has a great base. I mean, Sim apparently is doing very well now. A lot of that's going to be because people have followed him. So I imagine if he does it somewhere else, he'll be successful. But maybe it's time for him to move. I don't know, mate. But there you go. Can't hurt, can it, when you've got whatever he's got, you start a new channel. John Mesters, it seems like this Belgian nomad documented him creeping on video and has made a file on regular guy and sent it to the Philippine authorities. Apparently it holds up because he's on their agenda. Why the hell has he done that? Who made him, you know, unless he's done something wrong. I mean, fair enough, but yeah, why would you, why, if you're a guest in this country, why would you be making, you know, I don't know. Alan Brockett, as for why someone's going after regular guy, there are reasons. Few things draw eyes like drama. Maybe the Belgian fellow is trying to do the right thing, but altruism is the least likely of reasons. Yeah, I think there's a lot. I mean, this is the thing. I worked out a very long time ago, if I really wanted to grow this channel, I had to be controversial. I like to think I'm quite good at taking a piss. It would be very easy for me to go after, particularly one vlogger who's made a few videos on me, and just basically make him look an arsehole. I mean, they call it the dark side. There's a, you know, where you just like watch people's videos and you slate them and you slag them off and you do this and you do that. I think, maybe I'm fooling myself, if I went down that route, I'd get a lot more views. There are things I see when I go out and about, because I do like to have an active social life. If I was to film that, I'd get a lot of views. But I like to think I've got a bit of self-respect. I'm not going to lower myself to that. And also, if I did that, I would draw attention to myself and I might get deported. You know what I mean? It's like, You know, I'm not interested. I don't know why so many people. If you're going to do that, then do it. But don't cry when you come unstuck, and don't get your supporters to declare your innocence and campaign for you. You know, you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Is the way I look at it. Alan Brockett. As for why someone's going after regular guy, that I've just read that one. Sorry. Mark Ale Jandrox, he's not even in the Philippines, he's just jealous. Really? So this guy's not even in the Philippines? That makes it even weirder. And he's not even Canadian. I mean, I wouldn't defend that kind of behaviour anyway. But I suppose if you were a Canadian, you might say, well, I'm a Canadian and I'm proud of my country and I don't want Canada giving our country a bad name and that's why I'm doing it. I wouldn't think that makes you right. But what the hell is a Belgian who's not even in the country going after a Canadian for? Seems very weird. Alan Brockett, offer stands, no problems and no rush. Life happens and we're just along for the ride. Really appreciate it, mate. Really appreciate it. I'm a very lazy guy. I really want to do it. It's just, you know, I'm a very disorganised guy. I'm a very lazy guy. So when I get hit with sickness and other things and that, like, you know, I'm just, you know what I mean? But no, mate, I really appreciate that and I will get onto it. I've not made content for a couple of weeks now because I've been sick and stuff. But I do plan, hope to get some stuff. And we're going to Sikio at the weekend. I hope to do some content over there. So once I get that done, mate, I will be in touch. I really appreciate your patience and the offer. Mark A.L. Jandrox, he seems autistic and childish at the ripe age of late 40s. Who, the Belgian guy? Oh, he's just qualified out, the Belgian guy underneath. Belgian notes if they had a beef for a while, lawsuit or something. Really? Regular guy is lawyer up. The CGO ruling mean nothing, no authority. Okay. Well, listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. Listen, see, people are going to say, am I saying he's guilty? And I'm just, listen, we're just talking as friends. You know, I consider the people who watch my channel my friends. I'm just saying logically, and I could be wrong. This is the Philippines. Not everything is logical. Not everything is logical in the UK. As I understand it, if a Filipino makes a complaint against you, you've got a lot of difficulty renewing your visa. But that doesn't mean a typical Filipino can just accuse you of anything. The immigration will usually say, well, prove it. But if the immigration think they've got a valid case, then that's it. Your visa won't get extended. And I know the owner of, what bloody hell, what's the name of the visa place? JRC. I know the owner of JRC. And I asked him about that once. And he said it's very difficult to fight it. You know, you are unlikely to win, but they would fight it for you. JRC would help you. So I'm just saying, logically, if you have a barangay, a city, an area, or whatever, who have made that decision, then you've got a difficult fight because it's been proven in the sense that they've upheld it and they've made that announcement. I mean, you know, it's like anything. You know, you could be convicted of an offence in the UK. Whether you're guilty or not, if you've been found guilty of it, that's it. You can't say in a future thing, well, I wasn't guilty. Well, you've been convicted, you are guilty. You know, that's it. You know, he has been declared persona non grata. He can't say he hasn't. He can't say it was right or not. It's been done. It's a matter of fact. And I can't understand how that would not disqualify you from extending your visa. But hey, you know, that's just the way I see it. And my opinion's worth nothing. It's just my, you know, my observation. But maybe you're right. Maybe it has no legal standing. Well, if it's got no legal standing, though, I mean, what's the point of having it as a thing you can do? But hey, I don't know. If he's got a lawyer, he's going to fight it. I only watched about 10, 15 minutes of that video. But I got the impression he was leaving. He didn't seem particularly happy. He was trying to get out of his lease. He basically said he'd only come back for the woman. The woman, you know, had two-timed him. She'd chosen the other guy. And from what I saw, he was planning to go. which is what I would do in that situation. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe behind the scenes he's got a lawyer and he's fighting it. Or, sorry, are you talking about the lawsuit with the Belgian guy? I don't know. If you are, sorry, I just ranted for no reason. Jim Pendergast, hi all from very hot London. Hey Jim, how you doing, brother? Glad you got back okay. What is the word on the street in Richmond? Sunny Richmond. John Messers, honestly, I don't get the hype about Regular Guy. I never seen him out here in Douma. How do people think he's giving a representative image of the fields? I don't know if people... To be honest with you, John, I think he was a bit risque. He was a bit cheeky. You know, a bit of the old sexual innuendo. And I think a lot of people like that. I think that's why they watch it. I don't think people necessarily watch it to be educated about the Philippines and things. I think he was just a bit carry on movie in his approach to things. But as I say, I'm not gonna say maybe there's more to it than meets the eye. I don't know. I'm just a dumb Mick. Shake, rattle and read. Regular Guy was deported before. He went in hiding for a year and deleted all the videos that would implicate him. Really? That seems a bit strange. If you're deported, you can't come back. I mean, there's very few countries that don't put a time limit on it. So I know he stopped making content for a while. He went out, but I don't think he was deported, mate. But maybe I'm wrong, but I'd be very surprised if that was true. It's end of time. Would you prefer to make $1 million a month for years or be hammered and deported after a couple of years? The dilemma of being a vlogger. Well, mate, listen. I get what you're saying. And if we're talking $1 million, there are very, very few, if any, YouTubers who are making that kind of money. And if that kind of money was available, I'd sell my soul and do it. I'd say to well and right, we're going to make a couple of £1 million a year for a couple of years. I'm going to get deported. And as soon as we get married, I'm sending fuel and we're going somewhere else and put Ellen in the most expensive private school we can find or whatever. That would change things a little bit. What amazes me is how cheap people sell their souls. They seem to sell their souls for a couple of £100 a month. It's weird. But no, $1 million, but trust me, he was not making millions. What's that guy called Mr. Beast and Ippy Dippy or whatever? I make myself look like a granddad now. There are some who are making millions. I don't know if they're making $1 million a month. But they're very few. And it's certainly no vlogger in the Philippines making that kind of money. I don't think Regular Guy was making anywhere near $8,000 a month. I honestly don't. In fact, he said, look, I'm not going to betray a confidence. He said to me when I was talking, I am going to betray. I don't think it was a confidence. He was saying to me, he was basically making what he made teaching children in South Korea. When you took away the living costs. He was enjoying doing the vlogging more. He was earning more in terms of the revenue, but he was spending like $3,000 a month traveling. And when you subtracted the $3,000, the gross profit, and you came up with a net profit, he wasn't on much more money than that. So he wasn't making millions a month. No one is. Buzz video is most likely clickbait from RG. I don't think it is, mate. It might be. I don't think it is. A few people have said it's not, but who knows? LOL, enjoy the hype using Regular Guy's name. You will drop to nothing either soon. Well, mate, you are a twat. I do a regular live every Wednesday. I don't make any money out of it. It's only Jack, whoever does me, whoever me, and a couple of others who occasionally give me. Don't do it for the money, mate. So you are a complete wanker. I talk about a different thing each week. So yeah, I'm doing it. My channel's never been anything, dropped to nothing. It's always been nothing. People like you are so funny. John Mesters, I got the impression he's mostly at home online trying to chat up some what he calls baby-rooney. I've seen nothing representative of the feels or informational from him. Well, I don't think he's ever professed to do anything informational, mate. Honestly, John, I don't think he claims to do that. He's an entertainment channel. Yeah, you know, it is. Maybe he has. I don't think he claims to do that, mate. Jack Star, I totally agree with your irony on your vid about Scotty Boy, about he has been cancelled. I said it before, if it don't connect with the host of the channel, I won't watch. Content is secondary to me. Well, I'm glad you got it, mate. I said it wasn't really irony, it was just poison. You know what I mean? It was posing the question. You know, it was like, you know, does that mean his channel's gone? You know, he can't make contact. And as John has said, I think his content did change. Because although I don't watch it, I think I'm still subscribed, so it pops up. And I noticed about that time, he started doing a hell of a lot more live streams. A hell of a lot. I've not seen a thumbnail where he's whizzing around, like, you know, pictures of, like, you know, so I think the penny dropped with him. But I appreciate the fact you watched, Jack. I really do, mate. Buzz Video 1130, what do you think of the Rico guy using that Thai girl to build up his YouTube channel and then cheating on her? This happened as soon as he got monetized. Okay, well, that's not a question to me, which is good because I don't know who you're talking about. Jackstar, only fools and expats on when you're better. Yeah, hopefully, mate. Hopefully, mate. John and Joe haven't been pushing me to do it recently. I've been ill, but yeah, I'm up for it. You never know. We might do one in Sikihor. But yeah, I'd like to. I was actually going to suggest to them we do one tomorrow before the quiz, but I think it might be a bit noisy. And I say I don't know. We went out last night. Even though I've been sick, we've kind of had to go to like a couple of leaving do's, and there was a party last night, and I just dosed myself up with pills and things, and I feel okay. I didn't want to leave last night, but then when I get back, I've got insomnia as well. I've been sleeping during the days for the last week now. I can't sleep at night because a vicious circle. Can't sleep because you're congested and your head's banging from the flu and that. So you're up all night and then you sleep during the day and then you can't sleep in the night, you know. So I haven't pushed doing that thing because I'm thinking I could feel awful tomorrow. I'm just trying to get it out of the way before we go to Sikihor. Jackstar, any updates on the AC? Don't even go there, mate. I'm honestly starting to get the impression that the landlord is hoping I'll leave. Will leave. Hasn't said that, but yeah, I don't know. I might message him a couple of days. Say, look, what's going on? If you want me to let me know, give me a month and we'll find somewhere else. You know what I mean? But don't try and like force us out by not fixing things. But again, it's been the least of my worries, mate. The last week, I've just been. Don't know what it is. Some people are going to say it's the jab. I have got sick here a few times from flu and things, and it hits me harder here. Maybe it's my age, but it never used to affect me. But it's hit me really hard here. What the hell is that noise? Oh, it's the washing machine. I could hear someone playing music there. I'm thinking, who the hell's that? It's the washing machine's finished. Dave Stewart, I agree with you. It's best he just gets out of there now. Yeah, if I was him, I would. But he's a big boy, you know. Up to him. Morton Christensen, the Belgian was in the country when all this started with all the regular guys, skill guys videos, and Argy panicked and deleted 40 plus videos. He's got caught dating a 17-year-old. Okay, well, listen, I'm not going to repeat that. I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong. I don't want to get involved in stuff like that, mate. I'm not criticising you for the comment, but I'm not going to say, you know, I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, these things, we only know secondhand, you know, what's been, you know, what we've been accused, you know, what people have done. Jackstar, bring back the budget vids, or could be a topic for only fools and expats. What was your budget when you came here? What is it now? What did you want it to be? Oh God, don't. The budget videos. I just find that, yeah, I might start. I was stupid. Well, a couple of times since, I said I'm never going to do them again, and I'm not a man who goes back on his word, but I don't know why. So why did I let people bother me? You know, with the comments and things. But it did bother me. And I say, when you're just doing a channel for a bit of fun, my mind is, well, just fucking stop doing it. I don't want the hassle. Adam Feney, don't understand why it's best for him to leave, assuming he did nothing wrong. If he's innocent, then fight and clear his name. If guilty, then he's deported, assuming no other consequences. Well, that is a view. It's very much like Jack was saying. You know, once the can of worms is opened, they can dig deeper and deeper and deeper. At the end of the day, you stay here at the pleasure of the Philippines authorities. You don't have a right to stay here. So fight what? I mean, at the end of the day, if they don't want you here, they don't want you here. I'm not even going to say it now, but there are some reasons I know of why he could be deported. But I don't want to give the Philippines any ideas or be accused of doing that, so I'm not going to say it. But me personally, my view on it would be, if I was single like him, if I've been declared persona non grata, that would take me as I think, no, now's the time to leave before they throw anything else at you. And he's not innocent. He's been found guilty. I mean, not guilty in a court of law. The point is, it's like anything. He has been declared persona non grata. That's happened. That's a matter of fact now, you know. And that's not a court case where you have to prove your innocence or whatever. They have decided it's like they've just decided, the powers that be in that town have decided they don't like his content, and they've declared him persona non grata. You know, there's no going back from that. You know, they don't have to, there's no onus of proof. You know, there's no like beyond reasonable doubt. It's happened. And he has upset the people from there. So, you know, that would be sufficient if they want to not renew it. But they might renew it. There might be more going on. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's with Sim. I said a couple of months before he got done, I said, I just get out of it. I don't understand why you'd leave it. I mean, it's like, you know, anyway, but that's my view, Adam. You know, just what I would do in his circumstances. But you're entitled to a completely different viewpoint. Maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong. Jackstar, hey Jim, different folks. Oh, sorry, I've gone past Jim again. Jim, never liked regular guy. I know you didn't, mate. I know you didn't. And that is fair enough. It's like anything when you're popular. I mean, you got a big following. Some people are going to like you. Some people are going to hate you. Most people are going to be indifferent. You know, it is what it is. Different strokes for different folks. Jackstar, hey Jim, different folks for different blokes. There you go. Jack, a mother from another brother. We're saying the same thing. Hi Jack, hope all is well with you. Jackstar, Adam is one of them. Where have we gone now? I've gone too far. Wait a minute. Adam is one of them. Not what you've done, it's what you want to do you for. Yeah, it's not what you've done, it's what they want to do you for. I did notice before all this was mentioned a few weeks ago, he did delete a lot of his lives. I mean, this is the point, you see, this is it. You can delete things, but they're still there. I mean, you know, it's like, I'm not going to say anything about that. You know, it is, because I don't want to give people ideas, but there are a few, you know, well, I still give people ideas. I mean, anyway, I'm not. Adam Fenney, I see Jackstar. I don't negotiate with terrorists, LOL. But if the law says I'm no longer welcomed, I just comply and move on with my life. Yeah. John Ross, I've watched Regular Guy live stream in the past. He's racist. So glad he gets called out on it. Well, I have never watched one of his lives. I did watch one for about 2 minutes a couple of months ago because he was in my local. He was in Sideways, and I thought that looks like Sideways, and I popped it on, and just to see where he was, where he really was there, and he was Sideways, and I stopped watching it. Not because I found it offensive or because I don't like, just other things to do with my time than watch his live. Jackstar, Adam, what's your thought on AI trading? I mean, the thing is as well, it's like when I did that video, I did not know who Sim was, you know, pro-life traveller. I had no idea who he was, but I knew Regular Guy. As I said, I met him a couple of times. I'd interviewed him. So his was the channel that sprung to mind. And when I started talking about why I thought he might be in trouble with his channel, why he would have to change his content, which he subsequently did, a few people mentioned pro-life. That's the first time I'd ever heard of him. And they said, he's got to watch himself, he's going to be kicked out, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, 6, 7 months later, he was. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know why so many people can't see what's actually happening, can't see why the content is dodgy. not by our standards in the West, but by the regulations and the rules here. And there were still people protest his innocence. It's like, you know, so I've got no idea if let's call him Scott. No idea if Scott's in trouble for the content he deleted. I don't know what the CDO problem was, but there is no doubt under the regs, he was sailing close to the limb. He was breaking some of them. That's why he changed his content, for God's sake. You know, but there you go. Adam Fente, what's your thought on AI trading? Jim Pendergast, what have you been sick with, Simon? Flu, mate. Day after the party, I started coming down with it. And I've been sick as a dog. Ellen's had it as well, but she tends not to get it as badly as I do. But I'm not sure if that's because she's a Filipino and she's more used to, you know, the virus mutations over here. When I've mentioned that before and said it hits me really hard, people say, how many vaccinations have you had? And I'm, oh, God, don't go down that route. Maybe it's because I'm older, I don't know, but we both had it. And one of the girls whose party it was, she posted the other day, she's had it, like, and she was sick when she went. So it's going around, But hopefully I'm past it now. But I will do a vlog on that at some stage, because you have to be ready, I think, if you come to the Philippines, to get sick. Because the first few months here, I got sick a lot. And I've been someone who never got sick in Thailand, never got sick in Cambodia. And it hit me hardly it ever hit me. And I know from some other people, my old neighbour Sam, same thing happened to him. He ended up, when they were going to admit him to the hospital, things seem to hit you hard here. And I was, after like the 7-month mark, thinking, I'm going to have to leave. I can't. This is, because when you're sick like that, and I had high temperatures and delirium. Can you let the dog back in, please? He bothers me when he's...
But Hansel is sleeping.
Just let the dog back in. Please, sweetie. The cat can sleep any time. It's not fair leaving him locked out when he wants to come in. Anyway, but you need to be prepared for that. And I mean, the good news is after that, I didn't get sick again for up until now, really. But I literally had bout of flu, sick in bed for like a week, high fever, hallucinating and things, got over it. A month later, the same thing happened again, and a month later again, and it was getting worse and worse. And I had some right high temperatures and hallucinating all sorts of stuff. And I thought, this is no good. I can't keep having this happening. But it hasn't, and this one hasn't been as bad. So I'm just saying, it is something you need to think about when you come here. Jackstar, dabbled or not? Well, this is the AR trading. I can't answer that because he's talking to Adam. Jackstar, I tried normal trading only to realise I am not a trader by nature, LOL. I like long vision investments. No idea if AI trading is profitable. Might look into it if it's easy, plug and play. Alan Rocket, yeah, flu in the PHs feels spicier. A flu back in the States would have had me feeling bad, a bit of a fever. I thought you were English, mate. I never knew you were American.
No.
But flus here carry some extra spike. The fever is a bit higher. Yeah, it does seem to be stronger here. Certainly my experience. Don't know why it would be any more spicy than Thailand. But that was a weird thing in Thailand. There were several times when our household got it. And they were like death warmed up. My ex and her family and that. Never touched me. I thought it was bulletproof. Never really had flu or anything for about 10, 12 years. And then I came to the Philippines. 4 or 5 times I've had it here. It's hit me hard. RLV. 4 typhoons expected inside PR Pasanga this August. Really? Hadn't seen that. That's great. Hopefully they're not going to hit before the 1st of August when we go to Sikihor. Welcome to the chat, RV. Adam, I'm thinking of trying a few to see what the results are like. It's end of time. Hold on. I keep scrolling down and I've got to go back up again. It's end of time. I love shorting the PSEI. 30 to 45 weeks is a win. I don't know what we're talking about there, mate, but I'm glad it's working out for you. Adam, good luck, Jackstar. Let me know if it's lucrative. Yeah, I will, power is good. I'll PM you and get on it. I don't know. It's great that you two guys are talking. I don't know if I should be reading them out because it's a chat between the two, isn't it? Which is fine. I'm not saying, but maybe I shouldn't be. Yeah, I won't read. because it's not for other people, is it? Jack Star, it seems that you are... No. Jack can do what he wants on here, John. Jack has been here from day one. If Jack and so's Adam, if they want to talk to each other, mate, that's fine. I just probably won't read them out. Adam Fente, John, you must be new here. Yeah. Jack Star is a duke here. He's a good man. See, the trouble is, I started to read them out for what I know they're about. But yeah, Jack and Adam, mate. John, you're very welcome, but Jack and Adam can do what they want, mate. Daniel Morgan. I guess the thing is with rules, all rules, is that they're arbitrarily applied. Just like the hate speech laws in the UK. Some people get away with it and some people don't. Well, I'm not getting into that, but yeah, I mean, rules are rules. It's up to the authorities whether they enforce them. And the reality is, the higher profile you are, I would assume, the more they'll enforce them. But I say, I mean, I've never intentionally broken any rules because I don't want the hassle. So when I see what they are, I don't do it. I try to avoid doing it. You know, I'm careful about what I talk about, but that's just me. Jack Star's having a row with John, which is entitled to be. John, I've never really been sick here in the fields, other than occasional cold. I've been enjoying the aircon too much. Well, aircon on the planes and that can make you sick. Jim, I've been lucky with sickness in the Philippines, never had any problems. Well, maybe it's not, maybe it's just me then, but I found here, I got food, dog wants a stroke now. You are, why are you so high maintenance, little fella? John Missers, never had food poisoning problems either. I'm surprised by that, mate. I had it twice. Well, I had food poisoning twice. And I've said it before on the channel, I got salmonella poisoning about, I don't know, God, 20, 30 years ago now, when I was in Bulgaria. And I was sick as a dog for months. And after that, I was bulletproof. I ate in Saudi, Africa. I travelled everywhere, diving in Egypt. I'd go away on trips, we'd all eat the same food. Everyone got sick, not me. I thought I was bulletproof. And I came here and I had, so I've always, I mean, I eat from eateries and that now. I don't care, you know, I mean, I take the view you've got to build up your immunity to these things. But I got sick twice, food poisoning, both times from Jollibee's, I believe, allegedly, from their spaghetti. Never touched it since, makes sense. You know, if you eat hot stuff, which comes straight out the fryer or the oven or whatever, you're not going to get food poisoning if it's been cooked through. If it's something that's been cooked earlier and kept warm at a certain temperature and it's not hot enough, so I just avoided it. But the weird thing about it was both times it seemed to be, I thought it was the spaghetti, I got the runs or whatever, but then a couple of days afterwards I got a fever and a flu, and both times it lasted a couple of weeks, so I will never touch spaghetti again in the Philippines. But it was weird how it seemed to start like food poisoning. But as I say, I know several people who've had the same experience over here. I got a lot of friends here who got bad food poisoning or similar symptoms to me, ended up in the ICU. And they were people who'd lived in other countries. So it happens, it's not just me, it's happened to a lot of people here. It happened to Sam next door. He got really sick and the doctor wanted to admit him to the hospital. You know, there are things here that can hit you hard. It's like with me eye. I'm on antibiotics now. I know several people over it. Well, more, everyone I know that has had an accident over here, I've said to them, you want to get antibiotics for that. So now I've cleaned it, you'll be all right. And all of them, without fail, within about 7 to 8 days, they've got infections and they've had to go and get antibiotics and they've ended up in a bad way. So I went on straight away. Why it happens over here, I do not know. But I've lost count of the people. So there was no way when I got this, I wasn't, you know, seeking medical treatment, because I don't want to get bloody infection around my eyes and all that, you know. And I have a very good friend in the UK who died not so long ago. Had a bike accident, a push bike accident, fell off, banged her head, little graze and that, and died of sepsis 14 days later. Very sad. So I'm always quite hot and stuff like that. Where are we going now? RLV, thanks for the welcome. I'm training my ears for your fast talking English accent. Well, that's good, mate, if you want to improve your English. Because if you can understand me, you can understand most people. And that's the way I look at it, you know. But it's like today, we went to order some stuff in the shop and the woman couldn't understand me. And then Ellen took over, as she always does. And then the woman couldn't understand Ellen. But I could understand everything she was saying to me. And it was weird because it was like, you know, I asked for a tuna melt. And she says, what's that? I said, a tuna melt. And she said, a tuna melt? And I said, yes. So she repeated what I'd said and still didn't understand. So I pointed at it and she said, that is not a tuna melt, it's a beef melt. I said, okay, but it was in the tuna melt aisle. So anyway, I said to Ellen, can you order me some Nordic Spirit? Because I could see the girl was having problems. And she asked for Nordic Spirit. And the Nordic Spirit was behind her, a whole row of them. Ellen has said Nordic Spirit. So she goes to the next like stack of things, which didn't say Nordic Spirit. It said Estra or something like that. And then starts looking for Nordic Spirit there. So like I'm looking and I'm saying it's there. It's there. And Ellen says Nordic Spirit. And she's still looking in the bit. And the Nordic Spirit bit is bang next to her. So then she goes back and finds it. I say I want the blue one. So she tries to give me the red one. So anyway, we got it sorted out in the end. But when we came out of the shop, I said, I don't get that. Even when you order, sometimes there's confusion. And she said, well, she can't understand you. I'm like, but you asked for it. And like, I get, but I can understand them. Anyway, we digress. You know, it's, there we go. Anyway, I've gone on too long on that one. Alan Brockett, John Messers, LOL. I'm no judge, I'm afraid. I'm responsible for at least 90% of the food poisonings I've ever experienced. It's no worse here than back home. It's end of time. You're a good man, RLV. Keep learning, my friend. Yeah, it is good. You are. I think you're probably. I doubt there are many local Filipinos who watch the channel, and I appreciate that you do, mate. And it will improve your English. Asia-based TV. There's a miserable kind of expat that stuck out in life and came to the PLH. Only continues striking out. There's a miserable kind of expat that struck out in the life and came to PH, only continues striking out. When they say that, I'm referring to Belgium Nomad, who reports bloggers. Okay, I thought for a second you were talking about me. I'm thinking, really, have I struck out? Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, I don't know the guy, but jealousy, envy, vindictiveness, you know, they can't, that would be my reaction, but so I don't know the fella. He'll probably start going on at me now. And I've not even named his channel. I didn't even know what it was. Case, off the table. Off the table. Down. Yes, I fed him. Of course I fed him. He doesn't get another, he just wants attention. He doesn't get another, he gets a snack when he goes to bed at 10. He's had his breakfast, he's had his dinner. And he had a snack at lunchtime. And now he's licking my fingers. Adam Fente, I know foreigners are not allowed to have firearms, but I wonder if non-lethal self-defense items are allowed for foreigners, like CO2 pistols. I've got no idea. I don't. Why do you want one? Those CO2 pistols, mate, I tell you, I've seen a few of these non-lethal things. I think you're in danger of just pissing the person off you shoot. I know if someone shot me with one of those, I would be very angry. Certainly, I've seen some people, they're not effective, mate. They're not effective. And what would you need one for? I'm not going to go down that route, but the most effective thing, I think, in terms of self-defense is a knuckle duster. And as I understand it, you can have them in your house. There's no rule against that. I mean, I don't think you can carry a CO2. If you're worried about having you coming over, get yourself a knuckle duster, mate. Don't take it outside. That's all you need. But why worry? It's the safest. I mean, we're in the. I've never felt in danger in the Philippines. Certainly wouldn't shoot someone with one of those. Asia-based TV. He calls vloggers PDF files. Wow. Asia-based. Get a girl who has one. What, a PDF file? I think you're talking about. I think about the weapons. John Messers, I don't let my girlfriend cook. Well, you don't cook either. Why don't you let her cook? KK could be a fantastic cook. You'll never know. John Messers, Adam could get you in trouble, so don't mess with it. Asia-based TV, reference firearms. When AI eliminates all call centre jobs, crime is going to skyrocket. Well, it may do, but what do you think you're gonna? How's that gonna change having a what they call it, a non-lethal CO2 gun? You can shut up. You're being a very annoying little boy. I think he's telling Daddy that I've been talking too long. Hey Joe 70, you cannot carry a weapon of any description, even for self-defense. If someone punches you and you overspond, you are in the wrong. You cannot carry knuckle dusters, as you say. No, you can't. They are, but I looked in. I've occasionally think, but yeah, it is a bit of a grey area. But you'd be stupid to carry one around. But there is nothing wrong. You can't carry any sharp objects or anything here. I've got no idea about, CO gas. I'm not interested in that kind of thing. I've never felt the need for it. And it's like, there is some ridiculous statistic that like 90% of the murders in the world, I'm making this up, I don't know what statistic is, but it's amazing how many people pull the weapon and then get it used on them by the attacker. I mean, it's unless you know what you're doing, don't do it. But there you go. Call centre jobs will be replaced by voice AI. Yeah, well, I think a lot of jobs are going to be replaced by voice AI. Adam Fenton, your best bet would be a pocket knife. John, why would it be a pocket knife? Why would your best bet be anything? I mean, why would your best bet be a pocket knife? I mean, what, you're going to get it out, you're going to pull it open, then you're going to then you're going to get done potentially for manslaughter or murder or something like that. I mean, I don't listen. Your best bet would be to run away or hand over your money, you know what I mean? It's like, carrying weapons is not a good idea in any, what are you laughing at? What? Well, that's it. No, the advice is, they always say, look, I'm not saying that's what I would do. I'm just saying the advice is always to any self-defense person is, hand it over, run away. Would I do that in a situation? I don't know, but it's your own thing. I might decide to, but I'm not going to use a bloody weapon. I mean, I've said it, but I used to be a boxer. So that's why I quite like a knuckle duster. I don't have one. I can hit quite hard. If I've got a knuckle duster on, I'm going to hit even harder. I'm quite confident if I punch someone with a knuckle duster, they ain't getting up again. And if I've got a knuckle duster on, it's going to be bloody hard for them to take it off me because it's on my hands and use it on me. But a knife, a stick, a gun or anything like that, wow. I mean, it's easy to get that taken off you and you're really, yeah. Adam, mate, you're an intelligent guy. Don't carry anything. Where are we going now? Pocket knife can be easily explained away. It can be easily explained away. It can also be taken off you and stuck in you. And it's so unpractical to pull a thing out and take that. I mean, what you're gonna, I mean, it's anyway. Age of Base TV, everyone take a moment to hit the like on our boys' live stream. I appreciate that, mate. Hopefully people listen to you. Really appreciate that. Appreciate both you and Jack doing that, mate. It's always nice to get a few likes. I say I don't do the content for the money or whatever, but it is nice to know people have liked it. Because you never know, it's like some of the dark side videos. You watch them on there. A lot of them, I don't know why I watch some of that crap. Most of the viewers don't like the guy, you know what I mean? It's like, so I always think like, I only got 27 likes. Does that mean that other people don't like it? If they don't, you know what I mean? Sammy V40, I'm in Doomageti right now. Oh, you Sammy, how long are you here for, mate? Hey Joe, it seems like cards are well and truly stacked against you regarding the law. Well, I don't know what the laws are, over here in terms of self-defence now. I know exactly what they are in the UK because I used to work in law enforcement and security over there. I would call myself an expert on the self-defence laws in the UK. And I used to lecture on it, I used to train people on it and that. So, over here I'm not sure. But I take the view, if someone's coming into my house, regardless of the law or something like that, I don't know if they've got a knife or what they're going to do, if they're going to tie us up or whatever. So, I wouldn't be thinking so much about the self-defence laws if they came into the house. I would be defending us. You know what I mean? You know, and hopefully you could defend that in court. It's like anything. It's like, you know, if in most countries, if they're coming into your house, then you can defend yourself with whatever's considered reasonable under the circumstances, as long as you feel you're in danger. Can't chase people after they've run away. That's why people come unstuck. They run away and they chase after them and things. You can't do that because it's ceased to be self-defence. First rule of self-defence is, if you know, in terms of law, could you remove yourself from the situation? That's what the prosecution say. Okay, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you, you know what I mean? So it's a thing, but yeah, I've got no intention of, what's happened? Oh, I thought we had a brown out there for a second. The fan went off. I'm thinking, well, the lights ain't gone off. Very confusing. But yeah, I wouldn't, my advice would be don't carry anything and don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. You know, I have never felt in danger here with a Filipino, never felt threatened anywhere in Asia. And to be honest with you, I don't, you know, you don't. And you start people have a mentality, they start if you carry something, you're more likely to use it. And if you're more likely to use it, you're more likely to end up in trouble. And there's a damn good chance the person you're arguing with is going to be handier than you. They're going to take it off you and they're going to use it on you. So you can end up getting stabbed, shot, whatever. And if you don't and you come out on top, they're going to ask, why the hell did you have it? You know what I mean? It's Adam, don't do it, mate. Sammy, just 3 nights. Well, Sammy, it would be nice to meet you when you're here. It'd be nice to interview you when you're here. But we're going away on Saturday. We're going to Sikihor. So, yeah, feel free to stop by sideways, mate, or message me if you want to meet up. But welcome. Maybe you don't want to meet up. Jim, never felt the need to carry any sort of weapon in the Philippines. Mate, I've never felt the need to carry any weapon anywhere. You know, well, that's a lie. I did have weapons at, well, when I was in here, we had, you know, I have carried them as part of my job. But me, social out, no. Because it's, you know, I would rather lose a fight than get done for manslaughter for stabbing someone. So I've always taken the point, what is the point in a knife? If you've got it, then unless you're going to use it, what's the point and why would you use it? You know, because, you know, you might get away with self-defense, you might not. You might get it used on you. They might, yeah, it just raises the stakes, you know. Why would you try and avoid it? And if you can't avoid it and you end up in it, just try and keep it without weapons. That's the way I look at it. I know certain nationalities have a different viewpoint on it, but, you know, I don't know. It's never happened. I was saying to Ellen the other day, I've only personally been the victim, well, take that lunatic out of the equation. I've only been the victim of an unprovoked crime once in my life, and that was my house got burgled in Leicester. You know, I've always felt safe anywhere. I've never been mugged. I've never had anyone trying to mug me. I've never, you know what I mean? And I've lived in some rough places. So I don't know why people get so worried about it, to be honest with you. But hey, where have we gone? It seems like cards are well and truly stacked against you regarding the law. Living life. Hey, Simon, been a bit late today, catching up. No worries, Sean. How are you, brother? I messaged you earlier on Facebook. Thanks for the concern. Buzz thingy, real men don't need knuckle dusters, matey. Well, maybe I'm not a real man. And let's just to clarify the record, I don't have a knuckle duster. I don't have one. But I worked in the security industry for a long time, 14 years, and we did a lot of security. We had nightclubs, you know, we did retail, we did all of it. And some of the doormen I knew over the years had a knuckle duster or carried knuckle dusters, mainly before the licensing. And I had friends in the old days used to carry one, and I became very aware that from what I saw, it was the most effective. It was very effective. But I've never actually owned one or bought one. But as I get older, I'm well aware that I am less capable of defending myself than I could many moons ago. I would never draw a knife on someone or something like that. And a few months ago, I thought maybe, because I tell you what it was, someone banged on the window at like 5 o'clock in the morning and bothered Ellen. They were trying to get in the house. So she woke me up. I went round, they'd gone, never came back. And I thought, well, if they did, I mean, if we do, and someone has said on Facebook some things that happen, and I thought, well, maybe it's not a bad idea to have a knuckle duster or something, because if I just go out by myself, don't be carrying a weapon, I've got that, you know. And I never bought one, but because I thought about it for like 10 minutes, I just had a little look on the rules. But, you know, I've known lots of people who've carried weapons over the years for various reasons, part of their job, and I've just come to the conclusion, from what I've seen and what I've heard, a knuckle duster's effective. That's all I'm saying. Not advocating anyone has one, I'm just saying, you know, don't bother a CO2 gun or all that nonsense, or a sword, all that shit. I mean, a knuckle duster, unless they bang their heads. Anyway, I've said my piece. I'm not a real man. Well, where are we? I think I've gone past a few comments here. I do apologise. And in fact, it's just my mindset. I buy insurance in the hopes I never have to use it. RLV, be careful. You cannot carry a PH in the firearms. You are guests in the Philippines. Even locals can't just carry. No, well, I know they've got lax laws over here, but you've got to be, yeah. I wouldn't want a gun. RLV, no, John Messers, pocket knife can easily be explained away. Well, possessing one can be explained away, but plunging it into someone can't be explained away easily. And who wants to go to court? And who wants to take a life? Everyone take a moment. I've gone back too far, haven't I? Here, sorry. Right. Wendy's in the house. Good morning from Ontario, Canada. Wendy. Good morning, Wendy. How you doing? Lovely you could join us. I've seen an ANC. They will build a huge AI centre in Angeles City. Will be a lot of quality jobs for local Filipinos. Well, no one really knows what AI is going to do in the end of the time. Been here a long time. My wife is a legal carrier. Invasions mean response. That's all. Everything is legal. All licence and permits. Okay. There we go. Sammy, just 3 nights. Jim Pendergrass. I'm sorry if I'm reading some of these again, but I've lost track of my talk about knuckle dusters. Never felt the need to carry any sort of weapon in the Philippines, Jim says. Planet Jonesy says, good day, mate. Good day, Jonesy. How you doing, brother? Buzz Video. 130 real men don't leave their small kids to try and become a YouTuber in Thailand. Who are we talking about now? I'm very confused. Sammy, 3 night, you on a tour, mate. I tell you what, Sammy, if you are on a tour, even if we don't get to meet each other, I had a fantastic night. I'll try and put some of it in a vlog, but I'm telling you now, get yourself to the Bahia on Friday or Saturday night if you're still here. What's it now, 3 nights? It might be a Friday night. Unlimited cocktails, mate. It was everything I love about it. It had a great vibe, the DJ was good, and there were no Westerners there, apart from us. I mean, we had a big table. There was, how many of us was there?
I was not listening. What's your question?
How many was there on Friday?
What?
How many people went to Bahia on Friday, my love? Us, in our group. Okay, off the top of my head, let's say there were 8 couples. Anyway, look, it doesn't really matter. So there were 6 Westerners, which were us and our partners, and everyone else was Filipino, and it was great. It was a really good night. Music was good. It was heaving. Loved it, mate. I used to really like the Hyde and the Tiki Bar. No going back now, mate. I want to make this a regular, but I'm not going to drink as much. I'm not going to fall over next time.
Once you started, you don't want to you don't want to...
Thank you for saying something supportive. Trevor Harvey, hello from Tokyo. Hello, Trevor. Been a long time, brother. John Mesters, I just came. How's life in the land of the rising sun? I kept a baseball-shaped flashlight behind the door just in case. Well, that was the big thing when I was in the Air Force security, like a mag light. You know, those like fucking 6-cell mag lights, you whack someone with them. That's not an offensive weapon. That's why a lot of people had mag lights. But, you know, it's... Buzz Light Video 1130 Vic B, different subject, different YouTubers. Again, don't know what we're talking about. I'm going to stay out of that one. But hey, those mag lights, everyone had mag lights, and they're all the big ones, so you could whack someone with it. And I never had one. I think someone gave me like a 3-cell one. I could never see the point, mate. You know what I mean? And they were shit. I mean, yeah, they'd be good if you wanted to lump someone with them, but I never thought of pointing them out. The beam was crap. They always used to like, fuck up. Yeah, never understood why people spent money on mag lights. But they were a big thing for that reason. Trevor Harvey, danger comes from too much alcohol. Yes, it does, mate. You're 100% right, but you have a little bit of danger in your life to feel alive. Can you put a fan back on? I'm melting now. I don't know why you've done that. She switched it off and I'm now soaking. And she's going to say she was getting cold. Why has she positioned herself bang next to the fan when we've got the whole house? I'm literally sticking now. Thinking, well, sit on the other side of the table. Oh, God, Lord. She just wants me to turn the camera around and focus on her, but I'm not going to do it. 33 likes. Thank you, chaps. RLV, when PMP okays your permit and license to carry, you're responsible enough that it's all good. Planet Jonesy, better to run away than stuff your life up forever. Yeah. No, it's I agree with you, Simon. Always best to descale, run, etc. But my mindset has always been buy insurance with the hopes of never using it. Unless I lived in Japan or Singapore, I like to have something. Yeah, and to be honest, I've been quite lucky in the sense I've never been. Yeah, I think a couple of times it has been suggested to me we could take something, or someone said, you never know if someone's serious or not in London. I know I said, like, you can try it. You know what I mean? And they like laughed and joked. You know what I mean? It's like, so you never know if people are serious, but I don't know what I would do if I was in an ATM and I was by myself, because I'd be much more inclined, I think, if I was by myself to stand my ground and I was with Ellen. Trouble is, like I say, if you had a couple of drinks, the old masculinity might back in. I think you ain't taking my money. I just don't know. But I certainly know, because you don't know what you're going to do in a situation or what frame mind you're in, I think it's so much better you don't have anything on you that can make the consequences so much worse. That's all I'll say on the matter, mate. Sammy, you're just a 6-minute ride away. I'm at the Bethel Hotel. Where's the Bethel Hotel? Is it? I don't drive that far, Sammy. I'm about a 12-minute ride away. Well, I'm full of flu at the moment, Sammy, but listen, I'll be at Sideways tomorrow to do the quiz. If you want to meet for a beer, I'll get a bit earlier and meet you. Bethel Hotel. And in fact, plus you've got to remember, I'm American, so we love our guns. Oh, right, yeah, I get it. That's what I'm saying. It's a different mindset. I've lived in America, and I served a lot of times with the Americans, and there's a different mindset. Yeah, you seem to worry more about things than we do. I tell you, and I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong, but I have never gone out ever in my life going to football or anything expecting to be killed, expecting that someone was going to hurt me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've expected to get in trouble at football and that. There was a good chance I'd get punched or something like that. And certainly in the jobs I did, there was always a good chance. But I never thought I was actually going to die, that someone was going to come up and shoot me in the head. Now, if I lived in a country where that was prevalent, that could happen, then that would change your mindset. But it blew my mind when the first tour I did in Al-Kaj, because we worked very closely with the Americans, and there would be alarms that would go off and we'd have to investigate them. And when the alarm went off, we'd generally go together. Like the British, we'd jump in a Land Rover, they'd jump in their Humvee or whatever, and we'd race to get there first. But it was always in our mindset that it was a rabbit or something like that. You know, snakes set it off. It's like, you know, some kind of animal has. And the first time we turned up, we get out, we got our pistols holstered, we saber-torch rounds. They'd turn up, they'd jump out, they got their weapons pointed and and I said to Cut, I hope they're not cocked, because they're in our direction. Then about a week later it happened again, and one of them said, do you want to live with us? And Chippy jumped in with them, mate of mine. And then when they pulled up, he's like, because he hadn't been in Humvee before, he just arrived, they were arguing. And I'm like, what's going on? He said, they were cocking their weapons in the back of the wagon. If one had gone off, you know what I mean? Yeah, they were very gun-ho compared to us. And, but I understand why, because in their mind, they thought the Iraqis were sneaking through and there was going to be a gunfight, and the chances of that were very bloody slim. I mean, it was it was in peacetime. I mean, we were enforcing the no-fly zone. It was just a different mentality. And there were a couple of times when they were like, you know, we see them stop a Land Rover once for speeding, and we were watching it, and really, they should leave that to us because we're British, and it was, although it was a NATO base, we didn't come under their jurisdiction. But they pulled up this van, which was full of servicemen within the compound, and they're pointing their weapons at them. So we like walked over, and I was just going to try and de-escalate it, and our sergeant shouted, "Put your guns down," and they swung around on us. And like, you know, one of the guys, Brett, went like that with his pistol, and like, Jesus Christ, what is happening here? You know, we were annoyed then. Why are you pointing weapons at other servicemen who are armed? Decide when the vehicle's speeding, you know, and he wasn't even going that fast. So we'll take care of it now. But like, we were angry about that. I mean, just a strange. I mean, talk about increasing the possibility of an accident. I can understand it in wartime, but peacetime on that side, when it's obvious we're all service personnel, you know, that it blew my mind, guys. And there's no criticism of Americans. I'm just saying it's how they seem to do it. You would never dream on, you know, in the Air Force police, you would never pull if people pulled a weapon on someone because they were driving too fast. My God, you'd be for the high jump. Buzz video. In the Philippines, you get into any altercation, especially with a local, with any form of weapon, say goodbye to your freedom. Jace Derringer. Derringer. Do you carry a Derringer? SB is getting notoriety. Do we mean Scott? I don't know. I guess you mean Sammy retracted one. Sammy, electricity costs more in the Philippines than the States. AI centre wouldn't be a good idea. Well, I don't know how that works. RLV, PH electricity is not subsidised, unlike in TH in Vietnam. Again, no idea. Sammy V, AI should be built on the far north where the computers can more easily cool off, and in areas where electricity is cheaper and places with lots of spare land. Sammy, are you American now? I always assume because you got St George's Cross, you're British. I should go check out Sideways then for supper. Yeah, have supper there tomorrow night, mate. Ain't the greatest food, but good company. What?
Why are you saying that?
Oh, well, I've got to be honest. I'm not going to tell people it's fantastic. There were other things for Sideways for. Anyway. Well, John just said, Sammy, with all due respect, Sideways, but you can do better for supper, mate. So I didn't go that far. Since you're not on the boulevard, try Casablanca or go to North Point. Good rest those there. Don't go to Casablanca. Oh, I've got to be careful now. The mayor owns that. I'm saying nothing. I'm staying out of this. It's crazy, Fish. What happened? You have a bruise on your face. Hope you're okay, mate. There you go. You're one of the very few people that have noticed. I fell over on Saturday, mate, and I'm good, thanks. Appreciate you noticing. Well, I tell you what, chaps. We have been going on now for an hour and 47 minutes. I got a lot more likes than I usually do, which I appreciate, guys. I appreciate Buzz and Jack Star for doing that. And I really appreciate the super chat, Jack. You're a great guy. Always appreciated, mate. And when you get yourself over here, when you eventually do, we will be going to Bahia, mate. You're going to love it there. Great night out. Great night out. But as I say, I'm going to knock it on the head now. Sorry, it's Crazy Fish to just do it to you now after you joined, but I've been going a long time. I'm very thirsty now. I need to dose up on the old paracetamol. I need to have something to eat. Had a good live, guys. Enjoyed the convo. Have a good night, guys. Yeah, everyone. I'm about to sign off, but someone always comes up in the comments. I think, oh shit, I should have read that out. I always think if someone's kind enough to comment, I should answer it. So I'm just holding on for a second. Here we go. Alan Brockett, have a great night, man. Take it easy and stay safe out there. Hill Street Blues. That was Be Careful out there, wasn't it? Hill Street Blues. What was his name? Sergeant Phil something. Hill Street Blues. John Mester, see you tomorrow, mate. Yeah, see you tomorrow, John. Be lucky. Might see you tomorrow, Vinny. Jack Star, night, guys. Always a pleasure. Yeah. All the best, Jack, brother. Right, I'm going now. Hopefully you enjoyed the live. If you did, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, it'd be fantastic if you did. But whether you do, whether you don't, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.